Yo, what is up? How are you doing? It's your boy. It's the Birdman from the Birdman Show. You know what to do. Go ahead and do it with me one time. That is right. We are here on the Birdman Show with this crazy edition. Woo! I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I'm not really. I'm looking forward to this episode, but I'm not looking forward to this episode. But we're gonna get more into that here in a second. But first, I've got to say what's up. You already know him. Y'all love him. You got to say what's up to my boy Ace. Ace, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Uh, Research for this was kind of strained. It all depended on which site you went to, on what kind of information you got,
Yeah.
because everybody had their own story as far as how this played out. So this is going to be kind of interesting. JT, welcome back.
We got JT in the house. I know, right? Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right on that, Ace. It is going to be interesting on how this is going to play out. I tell you, Carrie's just trying. She tries to get on the show all kind of ways. You know, she's already on the show, stars, and she's even making comments and everything. She just be trying to get on there all the time. Ace. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to notice
I'm
that
gonna
about her.
remember that the next time you ask me for a favor, which is the second
What?
week in a row, sir.
First of all, ma'am,
Oh,
I'm gonna need you to tone back the attitude there. Hold the wait a minute. Tone the attitude back, Missy. Good God Almighty. Um,
Too
just
much
Google
estrogen
Google.
in this.
Yes, but anyways, since you already made your announcement here, welcome back to the show. Okay, she coming back for what? This is your third time, right? This will be your
yeah.
third time because you've done two. You be the judges, so this would be your actual. This would be an actual podcast show that you've done that hasn't been one of the ones. Well, this is kind of one of the ones you
Yeah,
suggested,
JT.
but not that you be the judge. So, welcome back, Carrie, aka Fury Storm from TikTok. How are you doing?
Doing all right. How are y'all?
Oh, just freaking peachy key. I'm freaking out, son. Hey, watch. Hey, JT, watch it. You watch it. Okay, listen. We're not gonna start this. Okay. All right. Don't don't start nothing, JT. Don't you start.
That's my girl. You
Yeah.
don't stand a chance.
Easy now.
Keep on.
That's my
Keep on.
little sister.
Oh, is it?
Not biologically, but I claim her as mine.
Anyways,
Where she
that
came
guy up
from?
there in the corner laughing like the Joker, that's my boy. That's one of my players. That's my homie. You know what I'm saying? Certified stamped. That is Hunter Stamper. Hunter, how the heck you doing today, buddy?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Sold some cars like candy bars today, so had a good day at
He
work,
said,
and I'm
"Oh, the
just ready to be
cars
here
like
on the
candy bars." That's
podcast.
why I messed with her. That's why I Hunter my boy. Hunter my boy, man. He
Yes,
dropping slang
sir.
y'all didn't even know about. He's like selling cars like candy, bro. Is he selling Hot Wheels? Like, nah, see, he had y'all. He had y'all. No, that man's a
Yeah.
car dealer. He's a
Yes,
dealership man.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
He's a neighborhood pusher, and he ain't pushing that other stuff. He's pushing cars. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, this is Hunter's first time joining the Birdman show. I don't know if you've done any other podcasts before, but this is your first time joining the episode. So how are you feeling about it?
I'm excited, man. We're on a topic that I like to talk about, especially, with kind of these off the wall topics for sure, these little kind of conspiracy groups. So, I'm with it 100%. This is kind of my stuff.
Okay. All
Pretty,
right. All right.
pretty
All right.
excited
Well,
about it, man.
we definitely gonna get into it because we're gonna find out a little bit about this thing that we're talking about here. And we're gonna be doing this episode of the Birdman Show on the Russian sleep experiment. Now, the thing about this topic, like I'd heard rumblings about it, for a while. And I now I'm not gonna get to that now. I'm gonna leave some. I'm gonna leave some of that for later after we get into it. But I will say that I'd heard some rumblings about this for quite some time. This was actually I think the first time it was being mentioned. I think it was about 2010. I think when it first started coming out. I want to say. I'm trying to look. I'm trying
Depends
to look
on
at my
what you
notes.
believe.
Right.
But what'd you say, Ace?
Well, Carrie said it depends on what you believe.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Like I
true. That's
said,
also true.
depending on the source, depends on what information you got.
Okay. Well, I'll say here's what my source says, and then we'll definitely go around. I want to hear on this because this topic this was a topic that was a combination. This was one that was suggested by Carrie and Hunter. And so I thought, yeah, it'd be cool to have them both on here. First originally it was supposed to be Hunter, and then I was like, I don't know what's going on with Hunter because Hunter hasn't called me back. Let me know he's gonna be doing it. And he did say he was gonna do it, but then we didn't get on to so, we'll talk about it after the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so I decided to bring Carrie on to help us on, you know what I'm saying? So she said, "Hey, I'll be there, headache and all. God bless you, sweetie. God bless you. You're doing the Lord's work. You're doing the Lord's work." Anyways, let's continue. You're doing the Lord's work. God bless you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Anyways,
Hallelujah.
so if you're depending on what you're saying, I don't know what your guys' information says, but okay, on mine it said the story recounts an experiment that was set in 1947. Now this is during the Soviet Union covert is this covert Soviet operation or whatever at a testing facility where scientists were given test subjects. They were given test subjects a stimulant gas that would prevent them from sleeping, so they wouldn't be able to sleep. Now, depending on where you hear from, I think most of them will say, and I'll look for the head nods for my co-hosts here as I'm saying this. For my accounts, what they were saying, they were actually prisoners of war. Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so we're all agreed. But they're prisoners of war that they were given the option. Hey, if you go through this test, if you survive, we'll let you go free. Now the length of it was supposed to be, I think, what was it, 30 days was supposed to be the totality of the experiment. And let's just say things got sideways after what 5 days. I think it was about 3 to 5 days. Things went sideways. Um, and like I said, I'll just give this little spiel. Like I said, they were given the gas for them to keep them from sleeping. As the experiment progressed, it was shown that the lack of sleep transforms the subjects into a violent, zombie-like creatures who were addicted to the gas. And at the end of the story, every character dies except for one scientist. Now that varies. That part varies because I've heard from different accounts where it was just one scientist that lived. I heard that it was everybody died except for one of the test subjects. And so that kind of varies. So I'm very interested to hear what everybody has came up with their research. This story is unbelievably freaking crazy. It is just weird. Now I do have a video that we'll play later, and it's crazy because it's actually there's people reacting to the Russian sleep experiment documentary. And so we'll play a few minutes of that so like everybody can kind of see their reaction and going on with that. But uh here's what we'll do. Ace, I want to hear from you first. We'll go Ace, we'll go Carrie, then we'll go Hunter. And then Hunter, when we get to you, I want you to kind of get us into the story of what's going on. Ace, how much of this story did you know about previous to this being brought up as a topic?
Um, Dude, I want to say it was probably almost a year ago. I seen a video pop up on TikTok, and I don't know why I stopped. I don't know why I watched it, but I watched it, and I was like, "This is fucked up." I mean, what the way that everything turned out, the depiction that they showed of the prisoners, I was like, that that's fucked up. And I never thought about it again until it was brought up. Oh, good God. And then a couple days later, a light bulb went off in my head after I started reading about it. I was like, holy shit, I watched a video on this. So yeah, I mean, that's the only link that I have to this before it was brought up as a topic. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, hey, whoa, now you
Yeah,
muted now.
I need
Okay.
to unmute.
Yeah,
I
I
forgot I
don't
was
think you
muted
can
there.
mute
I
anymore.
apologize.
I'm not hearing an echo.
Uh,
I'm not hearing an echo, so I don't think you have to mute anymore.
well, I was just doing it out of habit, so yeah, because I didn't hear it at first, so but I did it out of habit. Anyways, I'm with you. Now I'm a little different, and I'll get into that more later, in the story. The reason why I'm a little different when it comes to this particular subject. But like I said, we'll get into that a little bit more later. Carrie, aka Fury Storm 1 from TikTok live and all that good stuff. TikTok land. Carrie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I think
Didn't
you
you
had
already
too
have?
much sugar.
I'm gonna give you an intro and everything. You just look at me like I'm crazy and everything. What's up?
I think you had too much sugar tonight, man.
Well, I didn't have enough. Listen. I'm honestly, I'm like this story right now. I am operating on maybe about 2 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. So,
Oh, okay. So this is a
yeah,
great story for you right now.
I was getting into character for the episode.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So Carrie, how are you doing? What are your thoughts on this this subject?
I heard about this a long time ago. I've always liked the kind of creepy and weird stuff, so this is something that
Surprise, surprise.
I know. I heard about a long time ago, and I never knew like where it originated from or anything like that until probably like 2 years ago. And then when I was doing more research for the podcast, I actually found some more information that I thought was really interesting that I'll share
Oh,
at
we
the
definitely get into
end
that.
of where I think it originated from.
Ooh. Oh, we definitely gonna get into that. What the Hunter, what the heck? Bro,
Hunter,
you
you
all
can
right?
hear whenever you know it's
Yeah,
your
my
turn.
bad.
Okay,
My
okay.
bad.
Dang, you just jumped out the set. Like, oh,
Nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
nah, nah. You good.
Okay, bet. Okay, so Hunter, this is one of the ones you rattled off, and you rattled off quite a few when we were doing that. That's
Yeah, I
nothing.
know Ace has
People,
got a list.
yeah, people, if you get a chance, definitely come join us on our TikTok live when we do the Birdman show recap. Whenever we do the Birdman show recap, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, number one, we always recap the show that we did the previous episode, but it also gives us an opportunity to talk to the people who are fans, people who support us, and we also always ask for suggestions from people of things you would like to hear us talk about. And I'm be honest with you, Ace and I were talking about this the other day. I think probably about 90 to 95% of season 3 are fan suggestions.
Yes.
All of our episodes for season 3, like I said, about 95, I would say maybe 95 to 98%, Ace, to be honest with you. I would say probably were fan suggestions.
Only a couple have come from you and I.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I love it though. I truly love it. It's awesome. I like it because man, I don't feel like I have to rack my brain trying to figure out what topics to come up with. Number one, it's just hey, they came up with a topic. Oh, okay, I just looked that up. The wonderful thing about internet. Look up anything, make it sound like an expert almost on anything. But Hunter, brother, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Whole lot better in life right now.
Yeah, I'm about to come see. I need a new car, man.
Hey, come see me, man.
I only want to pay like $50 a month though.
I mean, I can give you like $200 car.
I'm trying to say, man, I want that new
$200 car. Better
one that Magic had though. You don't wreck that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Anyways, okay, so this is one of your topics that you brought up. Number one, what was the main draw to this type of subject for you?
I mean, it was kind of just crazy to me how, I mean, obviously the experiment came with prisoners of war just being captured and brought into an experimental facility and kind of just like, hey, here's an ultimatum. If you go through this crazy experiment, we'll let you guys go, not knowing, at all what they're going through, and just the craziness and the oddballness of the whole situation just really snagged me into it. I'm kind of into that weird stuff, so it was pretty cool. Like I said, as I listed a lot of stuff on your TikTok, I got a lot of conspiracies that I could list off, man. I got a lot of them.
Yes, we
I
know.
will say we do have conspiracy theories as a topic idea.
Oh
We
yeah.
are going to take suggestions from everybody on one of the uh, recap lives and narrow that down to like 3 or 4 or 5 something and do a podcast on just that.
Oh,
So
you don't want me to name like 40 subjects for you again?
No, I mean you can. I can write them all down. I mean, it's fine. You're more than welcome to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. I got you. Oh man.
Okay, so what I want to do is I really want to get into this. But how about we do this? How about we do this first? How about we take a quick commercial break? When we come back, we're gonna dive more into this. Hunter, I'm gonna have you lead us into more of what's going on with this episode, kind of how where it got started, and then I really want to hear from Carrie because she's got some information about the origin or possibly the origin of this. So I definitely want to hear from the both of you. So definitely, if you're out there, definitely make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of the Birdman Show.
Hi, I'm going to tell you about Dubby energy drinks. Dubby is an energy drink you mix at home. No jitters, no crash. Dubby is formulated to give you focus and energy. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Nuofactor. No calories, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors. So if you need something to give you energy to take on the whole world, Dubby Energy is what you need. Go to dubby.gg. That's DUBBY.gg. Use promo code Birdman Show for 10% off your orders and tell them the Birdman sent you.
Yo, what is up? It's your boy. It's the Birdman. Y'all already know what to do. I don't know why y'all playing with me. Go ahead and do it with me one time. That is right. It is Birdman from the Birdman Show, and we are here. We are talking about the Russian sleep experiment. Um, it's about to get crazy. That's all I gotta say. It's really about to get crazy. But before we get to that, I've definitely got to say once again, what's up to my co-host. Of course, I got my main man Ace in the house. I've got Carrie joining us back for the umpteenth time on the Birdman Show, and we've got first time Hunter joining us on the Birdman Show, talking about this crazy episode. So now, as was said when we left for the commercial break, wanted to come back. We really want to get into this. So, Hunter, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with this crazy story? Number one, we got to ask. I got to ask the question, Hunter: is this real or is this fake? This is made up stuff or is this actually real? What's going on with it, man? Tell me what's going on.
I mean, a lot of people kind of dive into that and, try to debate whether or not it's real or fiction. And a lot of people have really kind of jumped into it with studies coming out from other scientists and, Russian documentation and stuff like that. And they really point more towards that it was a real event that happened. So it's kind of one of those things where, I mean, it's up in the air, really. It's really just up in the air. But I mean, you kind of can go with it however you will, I guess. But it's a pretty crazy subject to just make up out of the blue like that.
Well, like I said, there. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it right now. Okay, so Carrie, you this was also, like I said, one that's like for those who just now joined us, this is also the subject that you had brought up as well. You said you had also did some more research and you might have found maybe some origins as to where this story came from, and what's going on with that. So why don't you let us know what you have found?
So This has always been quoted as something coming from creepypasta, like the Slender Man, it's an urban legend. But when I was looking into it, I actually found a it's in the wrong country, it's not Russian, it's Japanese. From World War II, it was a group of people called the Unit of 731, and they operated from 1936 to 1945. And they actually did, biological warfare, chemical warfare, and human experimentation. And it's estimated anywhere from 3,000 to 40,000 deaths that they caused. And it was broken into a bunch of different units. And 731 was the ones responsible for the human experimentation. And a lot of the experiments that are documented war crimes that they were tried for are very similar to the things that happened during the sleep experiment. That's a creepypasta. And it's actually more atrocious than what happens in the creepypasta, but there's a lot of similarities between the two.
Okay, so
telling me that it's the Japanese sleep experiment?
It's not a sleep experiment. They did human experimentation. Basically, it all started because the Japan at that time frame, they were mad over the Geneva Convention of 1925, where they said we could not use biological weapons in warfare. And they're like, okay, well, they're locking it out, so that means there must be something there. So they took over a part of China, and they decided, it started around 1936, as they started doing like chemical warfare testing, biological warfare testing. And then while that was going on, they had a facility underneath where they would actually experiment on humans. And they would
now that's funny because you said that was in what 1936.
it started around 1936 and
Okay,
ended
because
when
I
World
mean,
War II.
when I look at the creepypasta part of it, and now when the stories, all the stories start really kind of surfacing, most of them are saying around the time frame of 1947. So that's only 11 years. It's an 11-year difference.
Well, it ended in 1945 when the war ended.
Oh, okay.
So do you see? I mean, it's just so close.
Okay. Ace, what do you, Ace, what do you got? Is that all you had for that part? Carrie.
Yeah, I don't know how far you want me to go into this because it's a whole lot.
Okay, you put a bookmark. Put a bookmark. Ace. Oh, Jesus. Ace, what do you got, brother? What do you got?
I think that was deliberate. She came in here with the headache, so you know what? She's going to drop a
I'm
fucking bomb
scared.
and give everybody a headache. But the reason why I was laughing whenever you first started talking was because earlier you said I've got some information on the origin of this all stuff, and I'm going to wait until the end.
Well, he started it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You said it loud and proud. I'm going to wait until the end to disclose this. And Tim's like, hey, Carrie,
Mm-hmm.
tell us what you got. You ain't waiting until the end.
Well, my thing is this. I mean, why wait till the end? We want to make sure we're drawing the people in. You know what I'm saying? Get them all the way in. So that way we can start throwing them haymakers. All right. Because I guarantee you, just that little part that she gave us, that even scratched the surface of probably what she got. Just off of that little bombshell right there, that probably doesn't even scratch the surface. Because when you talk about people doing crazy experiments and stuff, but there's about, I would say, 2 to 3 leading countries when it comes to that. That's Japan, Japan slash China. You can probably group them in the same.
Mm-hmm.
Russia and Germany. When it comes to doing experiments like that on human beings, those are the top countries when it comes to that. So that's why I've always said when it came to this story, it is not that much of a stretch of an imagination to actually root this in reality. There's not that much stretch of it. And I'll say this without going too much into it. the best way to cover something up is by making it into something like creepypasta or urban legends, or say, hey, we're going to give you this little bit of information to make a movie out of. To that way, it draws attention. Way they're like, oh, it's impossible for that to be real because they made a movie off of this, and it's like that's the best way to cover something up. And if you think governments are not aware of that or they haven't been doing that for years, I can guarantee you 100% they have been doing that. Anyways, I digress. Hunter.
As do I.
Okay.
Yo.
I want you to kind of walk us through a little bit, and as you're doing that, I'm gonna look for the pictures that I have. Or I might go ahead and just play that video. But kind of walk us through a little bit. Well, first of all, what information do you have on the actual facility that they actually had this performing in?
I don't know. There wasn't any disclosure as to where the actual facility was that they were experimenting on this stuff. It was just listed in Soviet Russia where it happened. So it's kind of up in the air as to where it actually took place.
Okay. Becca, first of all, they weren't feeding people creepy pasta. I don't know if is there a such thing as actually creepy pasta?
Creepypasta was the group that actually divulged the story on the Russian sleep experiment.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. I'm gonna play a few minutes of this video. We'll play a few minutes of the video. Maybe we'll come back to it a little bit later in the episode to finish it off a little bit. But I just want to play a few minutes of it because it gives you some pictures of what is actually going on within this story. Let me get everything ready with it. But it's oh wow, it's yeah. Mm, I'll just say yeah. I'm just gonna say yeah. It's creepy. It definitely is creepy. Okay. Now this video is coming from Real Rejects. They do what they do is they go on and they sometimes people send them videos to to like blind react to. So a lot of times, what you'll get is they'll get a video sent to them. They blind react to it, and they'll just kind of go with it. Well, this is their first time ever hearing anything about this. So this I've watched it a couple times, and we'll just say that. Okay, so here we go.
The Russian sleep experiment is the terrifying tale in which 5 people are kept awake for 15 days and the horrifying effect it had on their minds and bodies.
Oh, jeez.
Now, this is just a story, and there is no evidence to prove this actually happened. But with that in mind, people say with the things that were going on in this time period, there is a possibility something like this could have been conducted. Because we cannot forget that in the same era as this story is based, Russian scientists released a video of severed dog heads that were kept alive for several hours using an artificial blood circulation system. So, although this is fictional, there is a possibility it's based on historical experiments. So let's get into the story.
Although this could be real.
Scientists in Russia decided to conduct experiments to test the effects of extreme sleep deprivation. They selected 5 World War II political prisoners deemed as enemies of the state and promised them freedom if they could stay awake for 30 days.
30 now.
They were then sealed into a small chamber and exposed to an experimental gas stimulant to keep them awake.
Jesus.
The prisoners were monitored through portholes and microphones.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard.
Yeah, I don't know why StreamYard decided they just want to freaking pop their heads in there. But okay, as you heard some of that was going on with that, like I said, it kind of confirms, the information that we have already been kind of giving out with everything like that. But what was some of the things you kind of picked up on that first part here in this documentary that you may or may not have known already? Let's start with Ace. We'll start with you on that one. I know ads. Yeah, I know. The ads just freaking.
It's kind
it
of
wasn't even on there the last time I watched it. Like, I don't freaking get that. I'm sorry. Anyways, go ahead, Ace.
it's kind of funny that it brought up StreamYard
We're already on there. Like, you don't need to put an ad in there for crying out loud.
I know, but no, with the research that I've done, everything that they mentioned in that video, I've already read or seen something about everything that they mentioned. So, nothing new.
Gotcha. How about you, Carrie?
No, I had already known all about all that.
Okay. I'm assuming the same thing for you too, Hunter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, let's I'm gonna play just a couple more minutes. Let me get past the freaking let me get past the stupid freaking ad for crying out loud. Like, no. Okay, so all right, here we go. You guys ready? Here we go.
Along with some books, running water, a toilet, and beds. For the first 5 days, very little happened, apart from the discussions between the prisoners were getting more emotional, and they started to reveal their inner thoughts to each other. On day 6, their behavior took a turn for the worst. They were getting paranoid, stopped communicating, and started blaming each other for being trapped in the room. They started sitting with their backs to each other, and strange, inaudible whispers could be heard through the microphones. After 9 days, one of the men started screaming. He ran up and down the small chamber in crazed terror, screaming and crying so much that he lost his voice and reduced it to a whimpering croak. It was later discovered that he had completely torn his vocal cords. The 4 other captives seemed oblivious to the screaming man, but 2 of them were observed quietly tearing pages from books, defecating on them, and sticking them to the glass portholes in the chamber. By day 14, the scientists could no longer look in and observe the subjects. On day 15, the screaming had stopped and the room was silent. It was only the oxygen monitors that indicated any sign of life, and no longer able to see in the chamber, the scientists were concerned the men had fallen unconscious. At midnight on the 15th day, they decided to open the chamber to check, but before opening it, they sent this message to the men. We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you freedom. The cell remained silent until one quivering voice said, "We no longer want to be free." The scientists entered the cell and were greeted by a vision of unimaginable horror. The food provided was not eaten, but the men had blood dripping from their mouths. Each of them had chunks of flesh and sinew ripped from their bodies, and there were indications from the destruction of flesh and exposed bones on their fingertips that these horrific wounds had been self-inflicted, not by teeth, but by the subject's bare hands.
Oh.
Oh shit. Okay, so okay, listen to that. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna be okay. I'll be I'll be the black guy in the room. That's fine. I'll be the black guy in the room. Okay, number one, if we're gonna do something crazy like this, that's cool. We're gonna do something crazy like this. If we get to the point where we're gonna tell the people, "Hey, we're coming in, lay flat on the floor, or you're gonna be shot," and all you have to do is comply. This is that, and then somebody comes back and says, "We no longer want to be free." You know what? Gas the whole thing. Just blow it up. Just blow the whole facility up. Just get rid of everything. Because if you can't see or hear them, and all of a sudden they come back and say, we don't want to be free. You know what? I had this conversation with my ancestors back then. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to be free. We're gonna be free. We're gonna let them be free. Y'all can stay here. Y'all, I'm done. Okay. Carrie, if you're a scientist in this situation, okay, you've unheard all this. All right, you already know what everything happens, but you're hearing all this. If you're a scientist, let's just say we're all the scientists. We're the scientists, okay? And all of a sudden, you're sitting there trying to figure out what's going on because they done defecated on the book pages, ripped those out, and put them on the window so you can't see in. They're no longer communicating with you. You just want to make sure they're okay. And all you get is you hear something come out and say back, say, we no longer want to be free. What is your thought going through your head?
Why not?
See, you know what? I'm the only black person here. Ain't none of us asking why not. We don't care. As soon as you say that, we out. They'll be like, "Hey, Tim, Birdman."
I want to know why not.
Hey, Birdman don't want to know why not. You've been in there for 15 freaking days.
No, they've been in there 15 days at
you
this
ripping out-
point.
Carrie, they ripping out book pages. They wiping their butts with the book pages and putting it on the window. I don't want to know why not. Wow. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Ace, what about you? You right there, huh? You right there? You right there too with it?
I don't give a shit why they don't want to come out. The way I look at it is, at this point, the gas that they have put in the room has taken over and consumed them, and it has replaced the oxygen that they are inhaling. So their main source of, because of things that are going to be brought up later on in the podcast, I feel as though the gas is now their source of breathing. That's why they don't want to come out. So I'll turn the gas back on and let them go. I'll give them what they want.
Oh God. Hunter, how about you, bro?
I'm putting them down.
I'm putting them down.
I'm putting them all down. They're gone.
Gas. He said, "I'm gonna give them gas."
I'll give them freedom for eternity. Freedom for eternity. You got it. Yep. See you later.
Braveheart.
Yeah.
All right.
Just catch the room on fire.
I got you. I mean, there's so many. First of all, the experiment itself. The experiment itself is there's a huge red flag when it comes to that crap. Anyways, but the fact that, I think I think he said what was about 3 to 5 days after all this, that's when they stopped communicating, and they kind of started blaming each other for the reason why they were in there. And then a few days after that, that's when they started defecating on the book pages and putting it on the windows so they couldn't see. And the mind you, I don't know if it showed it on there. I think it did, but the windows that they had were basically like they were I think they're one of the, I think in that video somewhere along the line it will show the actual picture, or their concept thinking of it. They were like windows on a ship, like port windows. So they had the circular windows. That's what they were. And that's all they had in there. And so they were sitting there covering those up with pages, saying with feces on it, and they were just putting that on the windows. Like I can't even imagine the smell in that room. Like it's oh my.
Yeah, because I mean, you've already got the smell of death in there from the dead subjects that they've been eaten on, and then the shitting on the fucking windows, and I'm sure they forgot that they had a toilet in there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And to
there were some reports saying that they did have running water, and there were some reports that said they didn't have running water. In this particular one, this documentary, it said that they had running water. So once again, it also kind of just depends on where you're getting your information from. So yeah, and yes, I don't Becca, I don't know if I would want to take a hit of that gas. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Maybe, Carrie, would you take a hit of the gas?
Not after a dude was screaming he ripped his own vocal cords. No, I would not take a hit of the gas.
Okay, but not having that knowledge. If you didn't have that knowledge, would you?
No, that's the whole point of being sick and twisted scientists, is experimenting on others, so I don't have to do it.
Okay, valid point. Valid point. Would you take a hit of that gas, Hunter?
Yeah, I'd try it.
I was like, you don't know what kind of gas I be hitting anyway, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'll try it one time, as long as I'm not locked up in a room. If I'm in my house, I'll give it a shot. But if I'm locked up somewhere, nah, just go ahead and put me down. I'll stay up as long as I can, and then when I don't comply anymore, you can shoot me.
Not even mad at you, brother. Hey, I know you ain't trying that gas. I don't even know. I don't even know I'm mad at you.
Being a recovering addict of the type of medication that has the same effect as this gas,
Yeah.
I'm going with fucked up. I'm
You only
sorry.
live once, man.
Well, yeah, and what that gas is comprised of. I want it to be longer than after that one hit. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be a one-hit wonder.
the way I look at it, I don't need to hit that gas. I mean, I'm like that just naturally at times. And that's 100% solely because of the time I spent when I was in the military. Half the time they had us going through a lot of I mean, I'm not gonna say similar things, but there were times where they would deprive us of sleep, and then make us go through drills and do different things like that, so that way we can still perform at a high level, and not have things like this affect us, whether it was sleep or not. I see a lot of similarities. When I don't want to say similarities, but a lot of the stuff that they were trying to do, I can see why they were doing it, because in one of the reports they said that they were doing this because they were trying to make more effective soldiers. Because if soldiers could go longer without sleeping, they could fight longer. They can be out for days, weeks without sleep, continually fighting the enemy while the enemy's trying to sleep. They're not sleeping, so therefore they can gain more ground. They can do more things. So I can see what the thinking was behind that,
They did that
especially
in Germany.
and I'm still really on the fence on that. Um. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Put this one up here now. The question is from JT Birdman. You remember going through the gas chamber? I remember my experience. Yes, I remember my experience very, very well, JT. I listen. It was funny because I didn't listen to my drill sergeant, and we were going to go get haircuts the day before, and my drill sergeant told me, he said, "Hey, don't go." He said, "Go to the company barber and get your haircut. Don't do it don't shave your head like you've been shaving in the bathroom." He said, "Just don't do it." I was like, "All right, Roger that, drill sergeant." But I was like, "I'm shaving my head, man. Forget that." So I went in there, got my little razor. I said, "Yeah, yeah."
Mhm.
I was like, Gillette, the best a man can get. I was in there. I was the jet commercial. You know what I'm saying? I was in there, just the head was just glistening. You see how the light shine on the head right now? That sucker was just sparkling on there. I go in there the next day. They said, "We're doing the gas chamber." I said, "I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this." I'm in there. Let the gas go. I hold my breath, and I was doing good. Back then, I could hold my breath for at least about 3.5 minutes before I had to let it out. Well, this is why I was dumb, and I should have listened to my drill sergeant.
Mhm.
Because what I didn't think about was shaving my head, shaving my face. That opens your freaking pores.
Mhm.
And I was sitting there, and I was holding my breath, and I'm looking at them fools, and I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, "You big dumbass. I got you beat. I'm gonna be in here for a long time." And all of a sudden, my skin got hot. Not only did my skin get hot, the back of my eyeballs got hot. The back of my eyelids got hot. My eyelashes started to sweat. My mustache started to fall off. I sweated so hard. Listen, when I tell you, I was trying to fight people to get out of there. I was my drill sergeant would grab me to try to get me to the door. I grabbed him by his arm and flipped him over me, stepped on that man's chest to try to get out the door. my face was burning so bad. I thought I was melting. I felt like the Wicked Witch of the West when they threw the water on. I'm like, I'm melting. Oh, I was hurt. It was painful. It was pain. It was yes. It was 100% major pain. JT, I'm telling you, it hurt. It was bad. I don't wish that upon anybody. I don't know if any of y'all had any type of experiences like that. Because then weren't you a correction officer, Carrie?
Yep.
Now, did they have you guys do anything like that, or did they do like the taser thing with y'all?
I did taser, OC, spray, and tear gas.
Okay, so you kind of got you kind of got so you didn't actually have to do a gas chamber itself, but you got sprayed.
No, I did gas too.
They put y'all in a gas chamber.
Well, their version, yeah. It's not like all fancy like the military. It was literally a fucking shack, and they
Wait a minute,
tossed it in
it sounded
there.
like it was a spaceship or something. Girl, we
Huh?
was in like it looked like a damn bunker. It looked like a big ass oven. That's what it looked like. I thought
No,
I
we
was
were in a
Hanson
shack.
or something. Yeah, that's what it looked like. That's what it felt like. But yeah, it was crazy. But it was not a fun experience. So no, I'm not. I will not partaking of the gas in any light whatsoever, any shape or form. I'm not doing it. It's just not happening. Okay,
Tim,
so here's what we're gonna do real quick. We'll take one little quick commercial break. Once again, we're gonna
can you
hear
get
from
back
our
on chat
sponsor
now?
Spotify for podcasters real quick. When we get back, um, I'm gonna play just a few more minutes of that video, so that way we can give our viewers a little of few more pictures, a little bit more information, so that way Hunter, you and Carrie we're about to rock and roll with this bad boy, and get this get this sucker going. Because I'm telling y'all right now, this is freaking crazy. So please stay tuned for more of the Birdman Show, and we'll be right back after this. Hey, it's the Birdman here, and I have a question. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? If so, have you heard about Spotify for podcasters and why it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place? Allow me to explain. Spotify for podcasters has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone, tablet, or computer. And when hosting on Spotify for podcasters, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. It's really everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And the best thing about it, it's totally free. So what are you waiting for? Go to podcasters.spotify.com to get started. And just tell them a little birdie told you. A Birdman, that is. Yo, that's my jam right there. I don't care what nobody say. Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy. It's the Birdman. We're right here on the Birdman Show. Please do it with me one time. That is right. We're back here on the Birdman Show. I am rocking and rolling. I'm with my boys, and I'm with the lovely Carrie. Ace, how the freaking heck are you doing, my man?
You know, you confuse me every time you do that because you come back on and say, "Do it with me one time." Motherfucker, we've done it for you 3 times already.
It's after we come back from these commercials, it's brand new. It's brand new because we have people joining in and out. So with the new people joining in, we got to make sure that they do it too.
We've already done
So
it 2 other times.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it for the whole freaking time. Like, brr, brr, brr. Like I'm just gonna go to like I'm having a seizure or something. Like, hey,
Hey,
brr,
don't
brr,
ta-
brr,
don't take
brr.
that, coach.
I'm not
Don't
doing all
take
that.
that.
Yeah, I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
come on, bro. Come over here.
Oh
I'm good.
shit.
I'm good. This
You doing good?
did that come through?
Huh?
Huh?
What are you doing? Oh, you trying to do your soundboard?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is mine coming through? Okay. All right. Cool.
All right,
So we can
whatever.
get some cheers on that one.
Whatever he says.
Whatever.
Anyways, Ace, you're doing good. That's Carrie. How you doing, young lady?
He's still doing good.
Yay, she's doing good. All right. Hunter.
Yo.
What's up, brother? How you doing? First time, man. You think you're holding pretty well.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm not doing too bad. I'm pretty excited about this topic. Ready to get into it.
Good. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I know I said we're gonna play the video, but I wanna hear from you guys a little bit more first, before we dive a little bit more into that video. And I'm trying to look up some of the other pictures and everything. Because there's a famous picture that is actually from where they were talking about the sleep experiment, but it was quickly debunked. Well, I'm not gonna say quickly, it was debunked years later. And I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick. Carrie, if you find it before I do, you already know what to do. But yeah, okay. So Hunter, so talk to us a little bit more about some of the things that were going on within this experiment.
So you kind of just want a little bit of a breakdown as to what was happening?
Yeah, give me a little breakdown.
So I mean, obviously, kind of what we've got. It was an event in the late 40s, I guess you could kind of say, with 5 subjects that were prisoners of war brought into this Soviet Russian experimental facility to kind of just see what the results of sleep deprivation would do to them. They were put in this chamber with this oxygen mixed with like an amphetamine gas to help keep them awake over time. And yeah, kind of just over a short period of time, things started to turn sideways. About day 5, they started distancing themselves from each other, blaming each other for everything that was going on. And then, day 9 comes around and things kind of start to get a little crazy from there.
Yo, that's just wild to me. It's just like, what were you doing to where you just sit there and thought, hey, this is a good idea. Why don't we just not let people sleep for 30 days and just see what happens?
See what
Like,
happens. Yeah.
were you sitting around just eating a bowl of Cheerios?
Curious.
You know what I'm saying? Just or corn flakes or something. Bran flakes. I don't know what the heck they was eating. I just pudding. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Pudding.
What do you got to go along with that? You have anything else to add on to that? A little bit more details for us.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Oh, she's like, oh, you don't know. I got the big guns. I got them ready to go. I'm just ready to do this. So yeah. Okay. So Ace, how are you feeling so far about this?
Do you want the picture?
Yes, you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up.
Can you see it?
Okay. Hold up. Let me go down here. There it is. Okay, here we go. So this was a picture that has been shown infamously with the sleep experiment, Russian sleep experiment. Now, people say, "Oh my God, that's crazy." That's what they were looking like afterwards. Carrie, do you have the information that goes along with this?
Yeah, it's actually a Halloween prop.
Okay, and can you tell people a little bit about this particular part of the story?
So, when this originated in the first person to do a YouTube video on it actually made this to go with it. And they basically photoshopped it to make it even more creepy, to make it go with it even more. But it's completely fake. It's a Halloween prop that was photoshopped to make it look even more creepy. But it's supposed to be somebody that is like in a straight jacket, and they elongated the teeth, they made the eyes bigger. I don't even think the entire head belongs to that prop because it doesn't look like it fits.
No, it doesn't.
Mm.
No. I've actually there's a TikTok video that a lady did about this particular picture and everything, and the fact that you can still buy this prop. And they said it's an animatronic.
Anatomic.
Yeah, that. It's that. It moves, people. It moves. You can get it. It's like I think it's like 500. I think you're saying it's like $500. I was like, what? I was like, I'll just stick a kid out there and just poke it with a stick and just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just, hey, make some noise, you jerk, or something. Like, why would I pay $500 for that stupid thing to plug it in to where it freaking burns out after a while? But yeah, I don't know. That's just it's weird. Sorry, didn't mean to go off on that. Anything else with that, Carrie?
No,
Okay,
I
all
think it
right.
kind of speaks for itself.
It definitely, yeah. It's not
I mean, if
saying
you
much,
think
but it's
about it,
saying a
back
whole
in
lot.
2009 to 2010, when this first originated, that would freak anybody out because Photoshop wasn't widely known, or doing stuff like that wasn't widely known.
No, I mean that looks like an early profile picture for somebody on Tinder. Anyways, so
Ew. Yo, who was you swiping on?
Don't answer
oh,
that. I don't want to know.
nobody. I see something like that off of my phone, boy. I'm throwing I'm getting off the internet forever. Um, I'm like, man, you know what? I'm moving to the country. I'm living off the land. I'm
Ew.
never be hooked to the devil's tools ever again. Um, okay, so so we've seen that picture, the famous picture that everybody sees. Let's listen to a couple more. Let's listen to another minute or two of this video talking about the Russian sleep experiment.
They'd been eating themselves. Some of them had so much flesh stripped from their bodies that their rib cage could clearly be seen, and their internal organs that were still attached and working had been removed from the body cavity. The subjects were still unsilent, but when the scientists turned off the gas, it sent them into a frenzy. They attacked the scientists and guards with such strength that one of the security guards who tried to stop the attacks died after having his testicles ripped out with the bare hands of one of the subjects. Along with this, 5 guards were also killed. All efforts to sedate the 5 men were resisted. It was as if their bodies were rejecting any drugs that tried to pacify them. Even after receiving a dose that would normally have put down 3 men, it failed to calm the subjects. In the frenzied violence that followed, 2 of the subjects succumbed to their horrific self-inflicted wounds. Finally, the 3 remaining men were restrained and tied up. All 3 of them were begging to be kept awake, refusing anesthetic, and choosing to have their surgical procedures to have their removed organs placed back in their bodies whilst wide awake and without painkillers. The first subject to be operated on died due to blood loss, and it was discovered that 9 bones in his body had been broken. The second man, who had started screaming on day 6, of course unable to speak, communicated by smiling as surgery was performed in a seemingly sick, satisfying way. When the surgery ended, he became angry and demanded by writing on paper that the surgeon should keep cutting. The third subject simply muttered over and over, "I must remain awake." Although distressed at the monsters they had created, the scientists were still intrigued by their subjects' behavior and decided to return the 2 surviving men to the chamber, exposing them once again to the gas. Only one made it back to the chamber though, the other fell asleep and passed away. The final surviving subject grew impatient, demanding he be returned to the chamber immediately. He broke free from his restraints and grabbed one of the guarding soldiers' guns, shooting 2 of the scientists in the head. He was overpowered, and before more damage could be done, one of the scientists grabbed the gun and pointed it at the subject. He shouted at him, "What are you? I must know." The subject replied, "Have you forgotten so easily? We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven we cannot tread." The scientist staggered backwards before shooting the subject. As he lay dying on the floor, he spluttered his last words, "So nearly free."
Okay. So, and I'll put that back up there real quick. So, as you can see, as we just talked about that picture, there it is supposed to be part of one of the pictures that were taking footage from the actual sleep experiment. After hearing especially this last part, and I'm gonna say, like, I get, that this is supposed to be creepypasta. It's supposed to be a totally made up story. But there's so many things in it that kind of bring me back to what Carrie was talking about earlier, when we first started. Whether it was the Russian sleep experiment or whether it was Japan's sleep experiment, the Chinese sleep experiment, whatever it is, I really honestly believe this is something that actually happened. Um, I just it's hard for me. And I'm gonna hear from everybody else first before I kind of get into that because I have reasons why I think this is really hard for me to believe this is something that's not real. Ace, let's start with you. Um, After hearing those parts, especially the part about the guard having his testicles ripped out. Um, that's I mean that's one way of not having kids. Um, what what are what are your thoughts on hearing that last part of the video?
Have you forgotten so easily? We are you. We are the madness within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread. For somebody who has been awake for 15 days and is not in their right mind to be able to just reel this off, that almost makes me wonder if something else wasn't at play during this experiment. Because that's fucking deep. That's all I'm saying right now is if you actually read, not just listen to it, if you actually look at the words and let them sink in, that's deep. So
You
that's
know
what
what
I
it almost sounds like? You know what it almost sounds like to me? It almost sounds like when they talked about that exorcism that was done, and they were trying to get. I don't know if anybody's never seen the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yep.
Phenomenal movie. It's a phenomenal movie. This is kind of part of what they were going on with that. But at the end of the movie, when they were trying to figure out, what was possessing her, who it was, this and that, well, come to find out, it was Legion. And when they finally found out, that's how it talked. It said, "We are." It was always, "We are. We are this. We are that. We are what you're trying." And that's what it almost kind of felt like to me when it came to what was going on with them, and like A said, with them talk with that subject talking, felt like it was something more at play there. And the thing is, like I said, if all this is true, people don't understand what the mind is actually really capable of. Um, I don't care who you are, what you believe in, whether you believe in ghosts and all that stuff, and whether you believe in God, you believe in the devil, whatever you believe in, understand this. Even if you don't believe in it, it believes in you. So if you don't believe in ghosts, and if they are real, like I said, there's too much stuff for me to say that they're not real or this is that. If you don't believe in them, guess what? They believe in you. You don't believe in the devil, guess what? Devil's real. He believes in you. You don't believe in God, God believes in you. All this stuff we talk about, we don't believe in, we don't think it's real. If it actually ends up at the end of time being real, all that stuff believes in you. And when it comes to stuff like this, there's so many different possibilities and things that if you hold fast and you believe in a lot of that stuff that the other universes, heaven, hell, dimensions. all the different realms of reality and all that good stuff. If all that stuff exists, tapping into stuff like that by doing different stuff like that, and this is not even to say, and like I'm kind of going off what Ace just said. We don't know what else they were actually really doing. It could have been, yeah, this may start off asleep. Maybe they're trying to get a hold of some demons. Maybe they're trying to summon somebody. Maybe I don't know. I don't freaking know. This stuff is crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Good God. Hunter, how are you? How you feeling about this? Because my head's hurting.
It's a pretty crazy situation. I feel like definitely a lot of people would ask, like after just a few of those subjects went as crazy as they did, as going as far as killing scientists to ripping the testicles off a man, having beyond normal strength that a person would, they'd probably, most people would be like, why'd they keep going? Why didn't they just kill the subjects and just end it all from there? But kind of at an aspect you have to look at it is at this point, it's not just, you got to think about the common sense of, well-being of people. It's an experiment, it's science at that point. So they have to go all the way through and really kind of pan everything out, because ultimately what leads to discovery is curiosity, so they kind of have to go through and see kind of what all happens and keep panning it out. And that's kind of the craziest thing to me is they stayed disciplined, with the fact of trying to continue to discover what is going to keep happening with these subjects. And they did a pretty good job at it. But I mean, some of that stuff is crazy, dude. Like that is nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And then getting cut up while they're laying there awake, not wanting any medicine, and they're wanting them to keep going, and they're smiling while they're doing it. Like that's nuts to me. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I'm with you. And like Deception King says, even if the story is made up, it has to have a source of truth to be based off of. I mean, that's 100%. I mean, I man, I can't. I'm telling you. Yeah, whatever. Carrie, how you doing?
I'm all right. All right. It only gets
Okay.
weirder, man.
Yeah, I know. I
I
know.
know.
So let's get into the weird stuff here. Let's just go ahead and let's just rip the band-aid off. Why are we playing around? Let's do it. Okay, so we're at this part here with this. All right. So they talked about some of the stuff that was going on, some of the things that the prisoners were doing. What else do you have to go along with that? Let's start with you this time, Carrie.
So now that we've pretty much gone through like the entire story, right? I want to
Mhm.
compare it to what happened with the unit, the true history of the what is it, Unit 731. And you tell me about the comparisons. Now, I did not include all of the information because there's literally so much out there just on this unit. We could probably do 3 episodes just on this alone.
Oh,
So
geez.
I just picked the stuff that correlated when I was doing my research, okay?
Okay.
All right, so 731 was responsible for some of the most notorious war crimes committed by the Japanese armed forces. It routinely conducted tests on people that were dehumanized and internally referred to as logs. So they would say how many logs fell today, how many prisoners died. Okay, so this is an atrocious thing. This is like up there with the Holocaust.
I guess
Um,
that's one way to what is it? Descript or describe your people whenever you're trying to be shit. What is the word? Whenever you're trying to decode messages.
yeah, and Unit 731 was actually backed by the government. They approved everything that happened.
Wow.
Good.
So this was mainly so nobody on the outside of Imperial Japan would know about what was going on. Unit 100, which was like a subunit inside of this experimental thing, they experimented with toxic gas. They had phone booth like tanks. They were used as portable gas chambers for prisoners. Some of the prisoners were forced to wear various types of gas masks. Other were in military uniforms, and some had nothing on at all. Prisoners had limbs amputated in order to study blood loss. Limbs removed were sometimes reattached to the opposite side of the victims' bodies. Some patients had their stomachs surgically removed and their esophagus reattached to their intestines. So they were doing, name it, they did it. Okay, that's like where we're at with this.
So this almost sounds like some human centipede type stuff.
Yeah. Where do you think it came from?
I didn't think it came from this. I was hoping it came from nothing.
This is more like a damn jigsaw puzzle.
It gets. This is just like the highlight reel of the screwed up shit these people did.
Yeah, 100%. That was a deep quote. And like Becca said, there could be truth to that. As humans in society, we have to act and think certain ways to fit society. Maybe they reach complete mental freedom from deep within.
Hit the gas.
I'm telling you, okay, you know what? This is no.
Mental freedom.
That's just this fool said hit the gas. No. Anyways, Carrie, crying out loud, just keep going. I just want to go lay down, grab one of my Patriot blankets or one of my Superman blankets and just curl up and just in a fetal position and just lay there for the next day or two.
Yeah, this was atrocious. It really was. A professor who was studying at a university during the war, he said he saw some of the footage from the human experiments, and he testified during the trial because there was a trial for war crimes. He testified that some of the experiments had nothing to do with advancing the capability of germ warfare or of medicine. There is a such thing as professional curiosity. What would happen if we did such and such? What medical purpose was served by performing and studying beheadings? None at all. That was just playing around. Professional people too like to play, and that's a direct quote.
And you know that goes back to the part of that video when they said at the very beginning they said they were taking severed heads from dogs and they were hooking them up to whatever to keep them alive, even though they were their heads were detached from the oh, for the love of freaking God.
There's a lot of similarities, I'm telling you, man. Experiments included disease injections, controlled dehydration, biological weapon testing, hyperbaric pressure chamber testing, vivisection, which is surgery or an autopsy performed while the patient is still awake and alive. Sounding familiar?
Yeah. What the?
Organ harvesting, amputation, and standard weapons testing. And this was including men, women, children, and pregnant women.
Wait a minute. Standard weapons testing?
They would have a victim and they would throw a grenade at him and see what happens.
What?
Jesus.
Damn it, Deception King. Frankenstein wasn't created in a day. Now, my question is that's your guy. My question is, I've got two. What was the purpose of amputating their arm and then sewing the son of a bitch back onto the other side?
I didn't go
They
into
forgot where it went.
I didn't go into super detail of like why like their reasoning behind some of this stuff. It was just a comparison of things that happened in the creepypasta versus what's actually happening in Japan at the same time.
Because I'm
Listen, I would tell you why it was like that, Ace. Because nobody was messing up on the color by numbers. And they just didn't know where to freaking this question is going to Ace.
I'm not done.
Huh?
said, I'm
He's
not
not
done.
done.
I
I
said,
understand
"You
you're
had
not done.
questions. I only asked one
Yeah, I know. I said that, and then I said this question is up there. Go ahead. You can ask your question why this is still up there.
question. I know you probably did ambidextrous. I know that you probably, again, with you did go into the details on procedure and why they performed that procedure, but I'm curious as to what the um, achievement was that they were what the process was that they were trying to achieve by putting the voice box in their intestines,
Esophagus.
esophagus. What they were trying to achieve by sewing their esophagus into their intestines.
I'm sure that there was a line of reasoning, but I didn't get into that. I do know that at the end of the war, after the trials and everything like that, a lot of these torturers, I don't care what you call them, but I call them torturers, were actually given US freedom to come live here for their documentation and
Yeah, of course.
for their medical studies by the
Well,
US.
Ace, to answer that question, though, is a valid question. But to answer that question, she'd already actually said it when she started talking about it. When she said that there was a lot of doctors, it was just professional curiosity. Yeah, it wasn't. There was no reasoning for any of it. They
But
were just they
No,
were just wanting to know.
they had legitimate in their mind reasonings for having a pregnant woman get injected with syphilis. They wanted to see how the body would protect the baby. And mind you, I know, mind you, not a single prisoner or victim made it out of this alive. So all of the babies did not make it out alive once the experiment was completed.
well, I wouldn't expect so. Cut my arm off and sew it on the other side, and so, just to help swallow gut. All right, DK. I mean, valid.
I'm with you there. I just okay. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say this now, because I just gotta say it. A lot of these stories, and like stories like this one, I think bother me more, um, than I think the average person. And the reason why it does is because I saw a lot of messed up things when I was in the military. Um, None of which I ever plan on talking about, except to my therapist. And even some of that stuff is limited of what I share with her. Um, but when it comes to scientists, especially military scientists, nothing's off limits. None of this stuff is off limits. This may sound like a great story, great creepy pasta, as you might want to put it. In some cases, this is reality for some people. These are things that some people, if they were lucky, made it through. For those scientists that actually did these type of things, this is reality, and the thing that they actually enjoy doing this because they're fascinated. They're trying to they're trying to satisfy their scientific curiosity. Like those people exist. Those same people are also called serial killers. Um, there's really no difference. Only difference is that one has a PhD, the other one probably works at a grocery store or sacking up your groceries.
They usually
Or
have
working at the
government
post office.
backing.
You said what?
And a lot of these have had government backing at one
Yes.
point. The Nazis, the Japanese. Hmm.
Yeah, there's it's I get so it's DK, you said it. Science, yeah, I get you, and you ain't lying. There's a lot of things that have happened in the name of science that has been 100% wrong. Um, there's been so many things that have transpired over the years. Everybody keeps talking about these scientific breakthroughs that we've had in certain types of things, especially when it comes to medication and this and that. But no one ever really asks, what did you go through to make those breakthroughs? Like no one has ever asked that. At least they haven't asked it loud enough. I'll put it that way. They haven't asked that question loud enough. There's a lot of testing that goes on. And at some point in time, they've got to test someone or something that has a heartbeat. And they got to see, okay, how long does this person survive on this, or how long does this animal or whatever survives on it? Whatever the call. At some point in time, it has to hit that, and at some point in time, it has to hit human trials, especially if it's supposed to be for human consumption. At some point in time, human trials are going to happen, and guess what? Not all those subjects make it out of it. So I get tired of hearing about this whole thing with science. There's been a lot of great breakthroughs, with science, and I'm very thankful with some of that stuff, but not everything is a blessing. Especially if you're the one that happens to be one of the test subjects. Because I'm telling you right now, this stuff is you can look at it as creepypasta or whatever. I'm telling you right now, firsthand. I know from the training that I did in the military, for infantry, for going through sniper school, and all this. There were times where they deprived us of sleep for multiple days, and I can vaguely remember somebody saying, "Yeah, this is this." They said something to the effect of not the Russian sleep experiment, but I remember somebody saying something about a sleep experiment. He's like, "Yeah, just keeping guys awake for days upon days." I'm like, "Man, is this what y'all really do?" And didn't think nothing else about it until I heard about this story almost decades later, and I'm like, "Wow, a lot of stuff that they're doing." It kind of starts off as some of the stuff that I felt like they were doing with us. Now, no, it was nowhere near the extreme as this stuff here. Who knew? I probably would have turned into Rambo during basic. And there'd been a whole lot of problems, whole lot of slapping going on. I'm just saying, there's been a whole lot of slapping.
Oh my
Carrie,
god.
what else? What else do you have as far as information with us for that? Did you have anything else to add with that?
Well, I have a question for you guys.
Oh boy, here we go. Hold on,
And I kind of
hold
already
on.
know your answer because of the whole military background and all that stuff.
I,
But
I'm
I
that's
did
putting my
okay.
glasses on,
this
I got to
test.
get intellectual here. Okay.
Oh, he's putting his glasses on. Look at that. Are you
I'm
ready?
getting intellectual here. I'm
Did
getting
you hear me,
intellectual.
Carrie?
Yeah.
Ask your
Huh?
question, man.
I did not study for this test.
That's okay. You don't need to study.
Well, shit. Okay.
What is the longest you guys have gone without sleep? Just straight through.
5 days for me.
Okay. 5?
About a week.
About a week? Mine's been about 3 days. So the first kid, he was 17, on record went 264.4 hours, 11 days and 24 minutes in 1964. This is Guinness Book of World Records, okay?
This is for fun.
Yeah. He called himself a science nerd and he wanted to try it. 4 days, 7.5 days. The kid's record was actually broken multiple times until 1986. Guinness World Records actually stopped accepting new applicants for that category because they said it was too dangerous. But a dude, what was his name? Robert McDonald holds the record for
Holy
453 hours and 40 minutes, 18 days and 21 hours and 40 minutes he stayed awake. And they both reported after 6 or 7 days that they were delusional, they were irritable, they were ready to snap at everybody, they were on the borderline of wanting to do physical violence because they were so irritated from not sleeping. So like we said earlier, it's got to have a grain of truth in it somewhere. And it's even with your military background, you personally know, but when they train the FBI, the CIA, and all the other alphabet soup, one of the ways that they get prisoners to break is sleep deprivation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Keeping the lights on, keeping things loud. So everything, it all comes back to this has to have some sort of truth. And I truly do believe that it's the unit 731. I really do. There's just too many correlations.
That is insane.
I'm still hung up on the alphabet soup comment.
Well, I mean, that's what they are. They're all alphabets. ATF, FBI.
It's not wrong. I mean, they refer to ourselves like that. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, she's not saying anything wrong. I mean, yeah, that's 100%.
But now my question is, how many of these people that tried to break the record did it cleanly?
The ones that were accepted into the world record, they did it cleanly. They were monitored and supervised by the Guinness people. They were drug tested. They have a whole big list of things they have to go through in order to be a world record holder. Yeah.
So like they can't like drink monsters or anything like that. They just
I didn't look too much into it, but they can't take like drugs. So no meth, no coke, none of that stuff.
Why'd you have to lead with meth, though?
I don't know. I don't know about caffeine, if that's okay or not, but
you just led with meth, like, yeah, no meth.
well, that's because I was looking at my notes about Germany, and they gave the soldiers meth to keep them awake.
Okay,
that
I'm
was
just
the
saying.
first thing
I
that
mean,
came out of my mouth.
you was right there. Was you watching Breaking Bad or something?
I just told you where I got it from.
Okay, because it sounded like you was watching Breaking Bad.
My notes.
Okay. We're not gonna get there. Okay, I appreciate it. But God, man, yeah, you made hard. I mean, just shoulder lean to that joker right there. Okay, cool. Bet. Whoa, okay. All right. So was that all you had to add, or did you still have some more?
No.
Okay.
I think I've tormented y'all enough.
Yes, 100%. Good God Almighty. I'm still a little hung up on the like. First of all, who
are you hungry?
Doing that you decide one day, I think I'm gonna go for the Guinness World Record for not sleeping. Like I did, like when I went and I've done it multiple times where I've gone. I would say at least 4 to 5 days where I don't really sleep. I've done that multiple times. I sometimes I'll periodically do it. Now, most time it's no more than 3 days. I won't go more than 3 days before I will forcibly make myself go to sleep. But like, when I did it, it was usually because number one, I was in a foreign country. And I was trying to actually make it back home. I didn't want to come home in a body bag, and I just actually wanted to be able to walk back on my own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Or at very least wheeling myself on a wheelchair. I don't care as long as I made it back. So therefore there were times where I had to stay up. But outside of the military, there is no good reason I feel that I need to stay up more than 3 days at a time. There's no good reason. So it's just I don't understand. Where did these people? And you said the longest one was 18 days, 21 hours,
damn near
40 minutes.
And how many minutes?
40 minutes. It was almost 19 days.
That's insane.
I don't know about why the last guy did it, but the first kid that did it, he said he was a science nerd. He wanted to be a doctor, and they actually had him hooked up to brain waves and stuff like that, so they could study what happens to the human body. And that's why a lot of people say a human can't go more than 11 days without sleep. That's where it came from, is the 11 days was that kid. But he did it for science, but he volunteered for it. And he said that he was irritable, he was hallucinating, he had trouble hearing, he had trouble tasting and smelling towards the end of it. He said physically he felt okay, but it was his mental faculties that was just absolutely terrible, and it just
Now, did
kept
they ever
getting
say
worse.
anything about the people that did this? They ever say anything about how they were afterwards? I mean, I know right after, but Did they have any follow-ups?
I actually saw an article on the first kid that did it. He said that years later, he just randomly developed insomnia, and he has no idea why. And he says that it was karma for the experiment that he took place in when he was 17. I don't know if that's true or not, but he was quoted in the article saying that. I mean, he could have just got insomnia because he's now an adult and he's got responsibilities and life sucks, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Yeah. Hunter, where you at on all this?
And it's a lot. I'm still kind of tied up on that Unit 731 thing. I mean, that to me was just out there. It was out there, man. And I think it just bothers me a little more because like that really happened. So like, I don't know. It just bothers me a little more.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say that the Russian sleep. It may not be the Russian sleep experiment. It may not be. Maybe it is just the story they put out there to kind of throw out things off of what that unit was doing. And you said they're based out of Japan, right?
It was the Japan Imperial Army that did it. Their main victims were Chinese, but Russians were included.
Hmm. So maybe some Russians got out and they decided to adapt this in their story.
No
Okay.
survivors.
Hey,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts so far with this right now?
People are stupid.
Huh. I agree. I definitely agree.
I mean, I understand doing experiments for scientific purposes to see how a medication is going to affect the body of someone who has cancer, to see if that's about it. I mean, anything other than that is I don't know. I mean, the whole amputating someone's arm and putting it on the other side of the fucking body, I don't get that, and I don't get the esophagus attached to the fucking intestines. I mean, I do like DK's comment where they're trying to swallow a yeah, curiosity is a dangerous drug. Yes, it is, because it's very addicting. But his comment where he said that he was trying to swallow a gut feeling. Well, the gut feeling was shouldn't have fucking done the experiment.
I got a feeling.
No, tonight's not going to be a good night.
Oh. No, I get it. Like I'm with you. I'm with all of you on this. And like I said, and I can't. I mean, JT on here. I can't attest to everybody's experience in the military. I can only talk about my own personal experience. And like I said, being infantry, having the unbelievable opportunity to train with special forces. I went through sniper school, and I got an opportunity I would say, probably my last 3.5, 4 years I was in the military. I was assigned to military intelligence, and not like I wasn't like James Bond type crap. I was mainly personal security detail, but I got a chance to actually see some of their operations, see how they conducted different things, and it was like crazy. I always talked about, oh man, I want to do that CIA stuff, FBI stuff. I want to be able to do all that stuff. After spending a year and a half with those people, I was done. I was good. I decided to coach basketball. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm done with the military. Yeah, good. Yeah, I started. I'll go get my free meal on Veterans Day. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to do anymore. I'm I'm tapping out. Pineapples. What's the safety word? Pineapples.
Pineapples.
Just help. Get me out of here. I just after spending a year and a half with those people, they are freaking crazy. But I'll tell you this much, they get results. They most definitely get results. Um, this is where Brain Ants with the magnifying glass leads. Yes. This is what it's a gateway. Okay. DK, it's a gateway. That's what happens when you do stuff like that. It leads you into other high risk stuff. I really have a problem with the stuff you were talking about, Carrie, with the going the sewing the esophagus and the into the intestines and all that stuff. I really get human centipede vibes from this. Um and I watched I watched like half of the first one.
I refuse to
And
watch it.
I never finished it. I never watched any other ones. I will pretty much probably slap somebody if they say, "Hey, I got a movie, let's check it out." And if it shows up Human Centipede, I'm slapping. I'm just gonna slapping the taste that thing out. There might be a few of these too. There might be some shots fired. All I know is there's gonna be some rumbles in the jungle.
At
The
least now I
stuff
know
you talking about that could you said what, Ace?
So at least now I know what to bring for entertainment next week.
We go right here, right here. We go right here, go right here. Go right here, right here. I'll be I'll be sitting in my office in my chair with my arsenal sitting right beside me, just waiting for you to go ahead and put in the DVD player. Go ahead, go ahead. Hey, bro, let's watch the movie. I said, you go right ahead and start the movie. I'll be in there in a minute, there, buddy. And I'm gonna come around. Um, but yeah, it was just crazy. I don't even know what the heck came unplugged. Um,
Is it just me, or is he?
I didn't
He's
know if we were on the
frozen.
same page with that. I was like, wait,
don't know if it's me.
yeah. I was in the same scenario. I was like, do I say anything?
I ain't saying nothing.
I was like, is it my
I was trying to figure out
Wi-Fi?
I was trying to figure out what came unplugged, but it was the freaking I don't know how it did, but somehow the Wi-Fi booster thing came unplugged. I was like, what in the world? Because the whole thing just popped out.
You're
That's
still
cool.
So
frozen.
yeah,
Hey,
is you frozen?
so
No,
huh? You're frozen.
Just
We
keep
can
talking.
hear you, but
Just keep talking.
not much.
You're you're
So
a bit of a
I do have a question, Carrie. So with the Unit 731 thing and stuff like that, with kind of what Ace keeps bringing up about the esophagus to the intestines, were these people like kept alive for that?
yes.
Yeah,
They
they
were all
said that.
living at the time of the experiments.
Yeah,
and they
they were like given locals, but they didn't even give them a local where they were cutting.
No medication.
So how were they doing that?
They'd stuff a rag in their mouth.
How would you
Because-
stay alive through that, I guess, is my main thing.
Because
Some of them didn't. Some of them didn't. Some of them did die during the operation or during the experiment or whatever you want to call it.
Surely esophagus guy died, surely.
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
all of the candidates were terminated during the experiments. None of them survived.
Yeah, either during or directly after, with the exception of the pregnant women and some of the babies, they were exterminated directly after the experiment was completed.
You're back now.
Welcome back, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the router freaking came unplugged. So it was trying to connect to the other router at the other end of the house. So that's what kind of went off with that. So I don't even know how the heck that happened. But whatever. Continue on.
Did you hear what I asked her about?
Yes, I did. I heard everything.
Yeah, crazy.
I heard it all.
Oof.
I'm just like the government. I'm everywhere.
So do you guys want
Wait,
kind of a lighter subject, but not really? It's kind of weird.
What are you talking about?
I have a picture to show you guys.
Oh boy. Yeah, go for it. Let's do it. Why not? I mean, whatever.
It,
It's
it
not like I'm eating any
correlates.
snacks tonight anyways.
It correlates.
Just freaking let's go ahead. What the freak is that?
We can't see shit. So
I know you can't see it. That's what I'm looking at right now because I can see it before y'all do. What the heck is that?
we appreciate that, and
I will tell you as soon as you
Yeah.
share it.
your reaction. Go ahead and keep that to yourself.
No, it's not.
What?
Now I'm curious.
You know what they said about Curiosity Hunter?
Ah, damn it! I said I'd hit the gas, man.
Hey, the human
Oh
centipede.
my god, bro.
So, fun fact about this lovely sculpture,
How was
art
it fun?
sculpture. This is located in Japan, in a children's playground.
In a children's playground?
Yeah.
We could take that off the screen. Yeah, right.
How do you describe this? What is the name of this piece of art right here?
Don't ask me. Hang on.
Well, I'm having a problem because I'm looking at it because like I told you, I'm watching the actual podcast on our YouTube channel. And that's in a freaking children's park.
Right. That's why I was trying to figure out what the name of it was to justify the reasoning for putting it in a child's playground.
Okay, according to depending on which website you go to, some say it's in a child's playground, others say it's somewhere else. Either way, it's freaking weird and creepy. And they do have weird sculpture playground equipment. So I don't know.
That's straight up human centipede shit right there.
I don't know. I don't know.
I told you guys my mind is a weird place to be.
I'm sorry, DK.
That is just that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's freaking horrible. Like, yeah.
I can't find what they're called.
It's just
That's
wow.
fine. Human centipede. That's what it is.
I mean, that's what everybody's nicknamed it. So
It's kind of difficult not to. I mean, it's literally just that's for the love of God. I don't know why. Why? I don't know why. I just wow.
did you really just say F is for friends who do things together?
Yeah. Yeah, that's you. That's you. That's all you.
That's all yours.
That he
I mean, do you see the shit that's in my head and you think that bothers me?
Nope, not at all.
It's in your head though. Yeah, it's in your head though. This out here for everybody to see now. That's all you. Yeah. All you. I ain't even mad at DK. I ain't even mad at. I ain't even mad at the man. Do what you do, man. And to carry, and I really think, you know what? I'm sure y'all do. Y'all crazy anyway. It is what it is. That's what we do in this family. We all crazy as all get out. Hey, mama, why are those faces in those people's butts not a combo I'd like to have my kids yet?
The name of that
Oh,
art
it's
is
called brown
Brandon.
nosing. Thank
It's
you.
called brown nosing.
No,
That's
no,
what.
she's being a smartass.
Oh well, I mean it works too. It's a little bit more better, I guess, than
It's,
the
well,
human
it'd be a brown
centipede
nose, a
art
brown
sculpture.
mustache, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
pink face.
God.
Jesus.
I didn't have. Oh, I was not ready for that.
Just
Okay,
think
I
of
was,
all
I
the
wasn't prepared.
interesting and fun facts I can find for you guys if I had more than an hour.
I'm
Yeah,
just,
that was
next time I'm just gonna tell you got 30 minutes before the show. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna say, hey, you're gonna be on the show. I'm not gonna send you the link until like 5 minutes before the show. Like as I go live, I'm gonna send you the link so you can join. I'm not giving you no more time to look up.
what you need to do is not even ask her. Say, here's the link to join tonight. And then she
Yeah.
pops up live.
That's another good name.
How to get through corporate America.
Bruh.
Level leapfrog setup.
Or in most families, dinner with the in-laws.
Right.
That's how some of these that's how some of those families out there in America be like. That's what you feel like with some of these, like, yeah, like, oh my God. I am so glad I ain't gotta deal with that crap. Literally. Anyways, oh, why did we do this? Okay, and this was your thing doing. This spirit thing was your guys' doing. Okay. All right. Duly noted. Duly noted.
Duly
Ace, let's make
noted.
sure we rest the Hunter's suggestions before we decide we're
Absolutely.
gonna bring him back on the show.
You got a lot.
This,
You got a lot of options.
yeah, we know, brother, we do. Or this is another name for your brother. I think they did a TV show on that. Um, definitely. That could be the case there. But it is what it is. Okay, listen. I
Wait.
can't. Go ahead.
Hey, Britt, maybe you spritz a little something that smells good, and I don't know.
Isn't
I mean,
that what the dude wipes are for?
no dude
No?
wipes.
No.
That's
What?
that's no. I'm sorry. I cannot do dude wipes. Sorry. I actually cleaned a room one day, and the dude left him behind. I was like, "Motherfucker, are you serious?" The
What?
fuck it don't. Let's ask Matt that question.
Wow. So y'all, oh baby, oh my God, oh my Lord Jesus,
got-
y'all killing me, man. Y'all just killing me. I don't know what to do with y'all anymore. Look, this okay. Listen, we gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up. All right, because y'all, I don't want to hear anymore. I don't. We got freaking Carrie over there who's just freaking going to town on Google and the internet, pulling up all kind of extra stuff. I just asked for this topic here, and you just pulled up all kind of stuff. I don't like it. I don't. I we need to have a safe word from here on Ace. When we do this episode, we're coming up with a safe word for each episode. When we say that safe word, termination of the episode immediately. Okay, I'm shutting down the operation immediately for that episode, especially if Carrie or Hunter or somebody else like that, Britt coming back over here with this Mandela effect or anything else she comes up with. I'm
Don't blame Hunter. He's been innocent. He's trying to get back on topic.
Man.
The thing of it is, Birdman, is we're not going to let anybody else know what that word is, so that whenever we say it, they'll know.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Why
Oh,
were we
you just
discussing? Carrie brought it up. We need to
I
wrap
did
this up.
not.
Somebody
Tim
did.
brought it up.
And I
I was
blame
just
you,
showing him the art that goes with it.
right?
okay. Let me tell you something. All right. Woman, let me tell you something. Just because I might mention something doesn't mean you need to go search the web to find out if they actually have artwork displayed in another country.
No, sir, that was in my brain. I already knew about it.
First of all, that is a problem. Okay, that is a problem. You already knew that information.
Yes.
Probably got that picture saved.
Is that a screensaver?
Screenshot.
You have a screenshot of.
She just
All right.
screenshotted your face.
You're frozen again.
I tell you what. I want to thank everybody for joining the Birdman Show. This has been something. I don't know what the heck it's been, but it's been something, and I want off of this roller coaster right freaking now. First of all, I want to thank Hunter for joining us on this episode of the Birdman Show, where we talked about the Russian sleep experiment. Hunter, what are your closing remarks for this episode and for this show?
It was a great time, man. Really enjoyed you having me on. Definitely look forward to the next one, and got to keep Carrie on, man. She's got some interesting things to bring up, without a doubt.
First of all, shut up. Second of all, Britt, what the heck is wrong with you, Britt?
See, I'm not the only one with weird information.
What the? Where? I don't care anymore. I don't. You know what? I don't care. I don't
pull
care.
it up, Carrie. Pull it up.
I don't have that. I don't know what that is. That scares me to Google.
Pull it up. You better not have that. Carrie, closing remarks. No pulling up any pictures. No adding any information. Just closing remarks.
I will say that I do believe. My mind went squirreled for a second. I do think that Unit 731 is a very good basis for how the creepypasta was created. I really do. Okay. And I want to add, if you're in the Facebook group, I will be posting the screenshots of him being frozen in funny faces later tonight. Oh, do you want to say that for your Patreon?
All right, in closing, the podcast is over. If you guys have any more free time on your hands, over on TikTok, we will be having a trivia night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time. Come over and join us. The information's down below. Wait, it's over here, isn't it? Or is it over there?
It's below. It's below.
Well, I'm just going to point. You guys find it. It's in a green banner down there. Just search for TLB-ACE. That is me. And whenever it shows me live, come join us. It's a fun time every time.
That it is 100%. And like I said, always Tyler Perry for the
win.
No. I don't care who you are, what it is. I don't care if we're talking about 1950s. Tyler Perry for the win. Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Don't forget about tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time over on my platform on TikTok. Go to Birdman Show. We will be doing the Birdman Show recap. Like I said, live 6 p.m. Central Time over on my TikTok platform. Definitely come check us out. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, we talk about the previous episode. We talk about upcoming episodes. We definitely probe the audience for. Probably shouldn't use that term probe. We definitely asked the audience for different. Oh Lord Jesus, I hate this. I hate this episode. We definitely ask the audience for suggestions for upcoming episodes, so that we can keep the hits a rolling. Yeah, because that's what we're doing here. Keep the hits rolling. Anyways, definitely if you want to contribute to the Birdman Show, definitely go to our Patreon page. You go at patreon.com/, the Birdman Show to become a member, subscribe to the show, and all that good stuff. Go to our Discord channel because we are on Discord. I post videos on there all the time. I'm not reading that off because I'm not reading off the entire alphabet and the numeric system. So you can just screenshot it or look at it. Yeah, there you go. That's because I'm not doing all that. Don't forget, like I said, if you want to catch any of our past episodes, well, you're already here watching us on YouTube. Just go ahead and go to our YouTube channel or our actual page. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like our videos, tap that notification bell, so that way you can stay in tune with everything going on with the Birdman Show. Guys, I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank each and every one of you out there in the audience for joining us for this episode of the Birdman Show. It was definitely interesting. We'll just say it was interesting. It was an interesting episode. I do want to thank once again my co-host, of course, my man Ace, for joining us. I definitely want to thank Hunter, who is now in dark mode over there. Who's looking all mysterious. Hey, dude.
He's
I'm
preparing
lurking.
for spy training.
We talking about the FBI and everything. All of a sudden, you became freaking covert operator over there. What the heck?
Blackout curtains went right over the window.
I could have swore you said dork mode.
Listen, I don't know what the heck's going on over there. All I know is I just looked up and all of a sudden Hunter was gone. I was like, what the hell is going on with the shadows over there? This man, did he get the call from the MIB? Anyways, I want to thank also want to thank Carrie for joining us on this episode of the Birdman Show. Like I said, we did our episode talking about the Russian sleep experiment. Definitely make sure you come back and check us out next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Birdman Show, brought to you by Birdman Studios, where we're going to be talking about Ace. What actually are we talking about next week? Are we doing
next week? Is Shannon Wenzel, so it's going to be
Shannon
Angel.
Wenzel?
Yep.
Shannon Pretzels? What?
Shannon Wenzel.
That's what I said, pretzels. Anyways, we'll be doing that episode on Shannon Wenzel. I've definitely got to do some more research on that one. It is kind of a crazy topic, so we'll definitely get back with everybody on that. So we'll be looking forward to that episode next Wednesday. Like I said, don't forget, right after the show, go join Ace on his TikTok profile, TLB-ACE, where he's going to be doing trivia night. It is a lot of fun. Definitely go check that out. And like I said, follow that up Thursday, the Birdman Show recap on my TikTok profile, Birdman Show. Thank you guys once again, like I said, for joining us for this episode. We will see you guys next week on the Birdman Show. Go ahead and do it with me again. Be out.